I'm Amy from Doodle Dog Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to make these primitive looking sunflowers. Let's get started. For this project you're going to need some brown paint. I'm using two different shades of brown paint. I have Anita's Earth Brown and Folk Art Cocoa Bean and a paintbrush. And you'll need some tacky glue, some instant coffee, some stuffing. You'll need basic sewing supplies and some terry cloth and then some cotton fabrics in some yellows or creams. And you'll want a spice that has a seed-like look to it. Thyme would work well, or rosemary. Then you'll also need some circle templates. I'm just using things that I found around the house. I'm going to make 3 different sizes. I've got these 2 lids here and this big lid and an embroidery hoop and another embroidery hoop, and the oil can will be the middle for that. For this will be the outside petals and this will be the inside seed area. This measures about 4 3/4 inches in diameter. This measures about 3 inches in diameter. For the medium-sized sunflower, this one measures about 6 1/4 inches in diameter, and the middle is about 4 inches. For the biggest sunflower, this outer part measures about 7 1/4 inches, and this measures about 5 inches. I'm going to take each of the inner circles and lay them out on the terry cloth and just draw around the edge. And then cut those out. This is a great project to do if you have some old towels or old washcloths. Now the first sunflower I tried, I used a yellow cotton fabric that was not printed on the back side of the fabric, and when I did it, you can see here, I didn't like the way it turned out because of the back side of the fabric showing. So this time I'm going to use cotton fabrics that have the color on both sides. You want to take your cotton fabric and have it doubled over, trace around your template, your circle template, and cut out the 2 circles. And take the terry cloth inner circle that goes with this outer circle and center it over the double layer of fabric. So I have 2 outer circles and then 1 inner circle, and I'm going to pin that together. Then I'm going to take my scissors and cut, and I'm going to cut right up close to the terry cloth but not into it. I'm making these petals about 1 inch, but you could make them smaller or larger based on your taste. And I'm not measuring because I would like to have a primitive look when I'm finished. And I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to take my 2 pieces of fabric and I'm going to dip them into this instant coffee that I have made. I'm just going to let that soak for a little while. After I cut out my 3rd set of petals, I realized that I cut out 2 of the smallest size and 1 of the largest size and none of the middle, but I think I'm just going to go with that. So I have 2 smalls and 1 big, and I'm going to go ahead and put these small ones, petals, now into the water and let them soak also. When you take the sunflower petals out of the coffee dye, you want to squeeze them and leave them wrinkled up and set them out to dry. Now I'm going to paint the middles, which is the terry cloth circles. And I'm going to use the two different colors of brown. I'm going to paint the lighter brown around the edges, and then the darker brown kind of more in the middle. I like to use the terry cloth for the middles because it has a nice texture. It makes it look more like the center of a sunflower. Now I'm going to switch to the darker paint. And fill in some of these white spots that I've left. And I'm going to just switch back and forth now between the two colors, kind of blend them in together. Now my next step is to take some tacky glue. You just want to make sure that you have a glue that's going to dry clear. And squirt it around a little bit. And then use the paintbrush to kind of spread it out. And then sprinkle some of your seeds on it. You could also use here some sawdust, if you have sawdust. You want to sprinkle more than you want because they're not all going to stick. Just layer a little bit more glue. Just brush it around good. This gives a little bit of color, brown color to the spice, and make sure they get stuck down good. You want to let this sit overnight to dry. After everything is completely dry, take the sunflowers piece and carefully kind of press out the middle part. You want the middle part to be flat and smooth, but you want to leave the petals crinkly. Then layer the two petal pieces on top of one another, making sure that the petals are not exactly even with each other. You want them to be a little off center of one another. And take one of your flower middles, place it into the middle of the petals, and then use a running stitch to stitch all the way around the edge, but leave an opening for stuffing. Then you want to take some stuffing, or put a little bit in between the top layer and the petal layer. And once you have it stuffed the way you like it, you can go ahead and sew the opening closed. If you want to hang these, you can take a stick and just sew it onto the back here, and then you'll be able to hang the sunflower. And I like to put several together and hang them in a bundle together. You could also set them in baskets or put them in a wreath. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe below. I'll see you next time. Bye.